Good morning, everybody. Mike Naso here from IPR365.com and PodWeather.com with the latest in the tropics. As we head closer to July, I wanted to show you these were the sea surface temperatures 10 days ago in the Atlantic. Here they are today, and notice they have warmed up quite a bit. Look at the Gulf of Mexico off the North Gulf Coast there. Look how you go from the yellows to the purples there. That is some scary stuff. And certainly the Caribbean as well, and off Africa. Note how the line has extended, how 10 days ago you had this warm line right here, and then look at it now, it just jumps right up like that. That is something to be concerned with as we go closer towards the heart of hurricane season. Also, the Madden-Julian oscillation, the favorable phase over the eastern Pacific, moving towards the Atlantic, now pretty much over the Atlantic. We just had our strengthening hurricane Beatrice clip the Mexican coast. Unfortunately, some people lost their lives. Last count was 3, I believe, from Beatrice as it scraped along the coastline. Well, we don't have any hurricanes out there right now, but we do have a few areas that we're going to keep an eye on. Here's the Atlantic, and you can see we have good moisture off Texas. This is all associated with this front, this trough moving straight through the United States. You can see the moisture on the southern edge of that bursting over the Gulf of Mexico. You always have to watch when these are over water, because if they spend enough time over and they start to spin, you could always get something, but that one doesn't look favorable for anything other than moisture streaming up in some areas that might need it, actually. We also see a tropical wave here moving through the central Caribbean, and there's an indication in the models, in fact almost all the models, that we're going to see development from this. Not this wave per se, but from an area of disturbed weather moving up over Central America into the Western Gulf, and that is going to be our main topic. Now here is the NAM model. You can see it brings a system up, and this is by the next, say, 72 hours or so, and starts to develop a depression right near Belize. Remember 2008, Tropical Storm Arthur formed right before it hit. Remember last year, Tropical Storm Alex, later Hurricane Alex, same thing. Now here's the GFS model. Look what it does afterwards. It brings this system right up into the Gulf of Mexico towards Texas. Towards July 1st, it brings it up towards Texas. And look at the pattern that this thing is under. This has high pressure aloft, a favorable environment for strengthening. We know waters are warm, and at least from this it would have a decent shot at strengthening, at least at a steady rate until landfall, and it would be a threat potentially even to the United States if this pans out. Now here's the problem. This is still a good week or so away, so we have plenty of time to watch it, and we don't know how reliable it is. But it's not just the GFS. We also have the Canadian. Look at that. Now if that does pan out, that is not something you want to see as we head into July over the very warm western Gulf, a developing tropical cyclone moving west-northwest. I mean, that would be, look at the way that thing just spins up bada bing right there in the Bay of Campeche. That's a scary sight. And this is the Canadian model. So then we go to the European model. European model, what's it showing? Well, not really any better news. The only saving grace is that, if you could see that actually, it shows it way down here, much further to the south in the Bay of Campeche than the other models do. You know, the GFS took it to Texas, some take it towards Tampico, and that is, of course, much further to the south. And if we did see something like that, the European model showing it moving well in the southern Bay of Campeche. But generally, somewhere in this western Gulf is where those models are hinting at. Now, we're not saying it's going to happen at all, because it is a good distance out, and we don't even really have anything yet there definitive. But the models did this last year, and we ended up getting a 946 millibar hurricane hitting Mexico. Then again, we might get nothing at all. So it's something to keep an eye on as hurricane season 2011 continues to heat up. I'm Mike Naso from IPR. Join us at wxblog.com and also IPR365.com as we continue to monitor the tropics. I'll see you next time.